Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Cherika Brown. Of course, we're on another episode of Cherika Be Talking because I be talking. On today's episode, we're going to talk about communication is the easiest thing to do when you truly love someone. So this morning I had a coaching call where, a guy was just trying to I wouldn't say get his woman back, but necessarily not lose his woman. And in this call, what I realized is that he wanted her, if that makes sense. I could tell that he did not want to lose this connection with the girl. And that's crazy because as much as I talk to people, whatever, they always come to me for the advice when everything is all messed up. They come to me to like clean everything up. And so basically, he expressed like some situations and circumstances to me that they've gone through. And so I asked him, I said, my question to you is, do you want to make this work? Before I give like any response I will give or anything of that sort, do you really think this is worth pursuing? And he was like, I'm trying. Like, I do feel like it is worth it. And I was like, what makes her different, than other girls? What makes you reverence this girl? Because this particular guy that reached out to me is known for being a player from the Himalayas and keeping him a few on the side, if you know what I mean. So he was just like, she's cute, her figure and all of this and that. And I'm like, okay, what about mentality wise, like her mindset? And he was like, yeah, she got a good head on her shoulders, all this and that, that and this. And I'm like, because that's what matters in the long run, in the long grand scheme of things. So he was like, yeah, she expressed some concerns to me. I didn't really understand her concerns, but, I was like, okay, I'm going to change and I'm going to be better. So I was like, okay, cool. So what's the issue? He was like, the issue is, she's just questioning me. She questioning my loyalty or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so there's trust issues, and everybody know without trust there's no relationship. I said, he was on the verge of just like, forget the relationship, because if she don't want to be in a relationship with me, why am I pursuing her? I said, you're saying she's not being logical, she's being emotional, but you're also being emotional in this moment. I don't think you should make a decision right now, or you don't necessarily have to respond immediately. I said, you need to sit back, think of her perspective on whatever differences y'all are having, try to understand her perspective, and try to understand where she's coming from in general. Even if it's so crazy to you and you just don't want to get it, try to understand her and hear her out. Because what I notice is, oftentimes when you disagree with someone in a relationship, it's not necessarily that you don't understand where they're coming from. Some of the times you don't want to understand. And sometimes you're listening to react instead of listening to respond. So because you want to prove yourself innocent in whatever situation, you're not really thinking about the person's feelings or considering things you may have done or you have said, or just the little small things that may have led up to this grand scheme of this big falling out. And when I say it takes two to basically communicate and want to make things work, in order for things to work, it takes two people that love each other and that are willing to hear the other person out and put their self aside, put your pride aside, put your ego aside, and really try to hear out where are you coming from? Why would you think like this? What would you say to like combat what I have to say? And when you really put yourself in another person's perspective or in another person's shoes, you will find out that they could be reasonable. Like, okay, it's not too far off. Like, this person isn't as crazy as I want them to be in order to prove myself innocent or to prove myself right. And when you get to that point, there's so much love and proper communication, but it takes two. Just like they say, it takes two to tango. Two people have to really want the relationship in order for it to work. And it's so easy to communicate when there's love there, because you put yourself on the back burner and you try to say, okay, how can we work past this? Like, what we're building and what we're doing is bigger than this whole idea, this whole falling out. Like, if I truly do not want to lose this person because this person is worth it, what can I do to make it right. If the other person is just giving you rebuttals and don't want to hear it, that person is likely fed up. They've already been done in their head, or they're just not at a place right now where they're willing to work through the relationship. And the best thing you can do is to accept their pushback, because it's only so much, even if you are a man, that you can do to try and tell a person like, hey, I'm willing to work through this. I'm willing to see your perspective. I'm willing for us to talk through everything, work through everything. If you have anything that you would like for me to do to prove that I am trustworthy going forward, I'm willing to be more vulnerable and transparent with you. Like, whatever it takes, I'm up for it. If the person is still at that point, like, no, it's just not working, like, you're not my person, I don't feel like God designed you for me, you have to accept that. And as much as it sucks, love is not one-sided. When you're in love with someone, they have to be in love with you too for the love to be valid. I strongly believe that. Just because you can't love something or someone that does not love you. The only way for you to be in love is for the feelings to be mutual. And if you are the only one trying to make something work, even if you're not right now, over time you will become exhausted, you will become drained, and you possibly will start to resent the person. So there's a thin line between fighting for something because, it's what you want. I'm not telling you not to try, because like I said, I think people give up too easily, and I am pro fighting for what you want. So once you reach that point of you feel like I just poured my all into you and told you that I'm willing and ready to communicate and be a better person and build together and grow together, because none of us are perfect. Once you've expressed that and you've been vocal about that, and a person still give you pushback, at that point it's safe to let it go. Let it go, because what's meant for you will always be meant for you, and God will never let it get away from you or let someone else have it. And once you're confident in that, you're confident in just releasing things, not out of ego and pride because, oh, I'm not gonna kiss your butt, but because I've expressed my love for you and my love wasn't enough. And because it wasn't enough, I wish you well, and I hope you go and find whatever it is you're looking for. Because when someone truly loves you, they'll be willing to hear you out and work things out. But y'all know I'll be back because I'll be talking. Peace.